Another childish characteristic of adults more is compulsiveness. My mother, who is now 75,
Right.
I don't know if I talked about this. She's obsessed with politics. I never heard her talk about politics for the first 74 years of her life.
Sure, yeah.
Now she's a Trumper.
Hey, Mom, Ellie rolled over for the first time today. Well, that's great.
Did you hear Kamala Harris? She's a hoe. That's what my mother said.
Yeah, what about Hunter Biden's laptop, huh? Did you tell Ellie about that?
It's so funny. I sent her a picture of Elliot on a tricycle.
Yeah.
And she responded back so cute, "Let's go, Brandon."
Took a trip to Kaiser Permanente today, you know?
Fun.
I don't know when was the last physical you got? It had been probably 6 years, 5 or 6 years for me.
I've had STD tests.
Sure.
But as far as a physical,
Right. That's not. That's just checking you.
I don't know.
Pat?
This year,
You get one every year?
No, but I finally had to get life insurance for my family.
Sure.
So you got to take a
And have
physical
they put anything up your butt yet?
No. I've only had that happen once, and I was fairly young. And I'm pretty sure it was just to get the doctor's rocks off.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was 18. Why you got to put your finger in my bum?
What a traumatic story.
Oh, it took the breath out of me. Anal is a no-go.
Sure.
I went,
Right.
I feel bad for all the women out there.
And did he say this is to get my rocks off, or was there some?
It was real quick and was not asked.
Yeah, real Nadler situation.
He said, bend over there, and he put a rubber glove on.
Got it.
What
He said,
am
this
I-
will just take a minute.
What a myopic view of the people who enjoy anal sex. He said,
Right.
I feel bad for all the women out there.
Right.
Men
No,
enjoy
they
it
like
just
it.
as much.
Yeah,
It's in fact a goal for...
I not a goal, but in a freaky Fun Friday situation where I become a homosexual, I would be a power bottom. So I head on over to Kaiser today.
But actually, the fact that I don't remember the last time I had a physical gives more credence to... I said it very briefly on some episode in our archive.
Yeah, you think you have cancer?
No, I think there's a possibility I could have cancer and be fighting it off and not even feeling the effects because of the strength of my immune system.
Yeah.
I could have had it and beat it. Could have multiple. But
Sorry.
But I feel like $1 million.
Well, what were you saying?
That's it.
Okay.
Oh, one quick thing for that with cancer. So when I was 40, I go and I was going to get all the blood work done and the EKG and all that stuff. And I tell the doctor, I said, hey, and while you're at it, why don't you test me for cancer too? He goes, what are you talking about? He said, run the test, make sure I don't have cancer or nothing like that. I don't want to die.
Fair.
He says,
question.
We don't do that. We don't know you have cancer until you have it. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. What is this, medieval Europe? I have to come in here when I've got cancer and then tell you to fix it?
I've already got it.
Why are we not more, proactive with our medical care?
But how do you
Topic
know
for-
you have it if they don't test for
That's
it
a good
until you
point.
have it? We're in a paradox.
So take a journey to Kaiser today. I get first physical in a while. Doctor told me I was 4 pounds overweight, which is a lie, and I'm not going back to him because that's so wrong. But anyways, I had a lot of stuff to get looked at. I got cysts. I'm a pretty cysty person.
Inside your body?
Yeah, well, I had the one on the wrist, the Bible one, where they, it's like where it's a common thing. You get it on your wrist. And
The stigmata?
No, I've had that countless times. Almost every night I wake up in the middle of the night with that, screaming.
With the descriptors you had, stigmata applies. Okay?
Yeah, no,
it was ambiguous.
Right.
What were you referring to?
There are cysts that can grow at the top of your wrist. They used to take Bibles and smash them.
I guess you did
apart.
say cyst, not hole.
I have one on the back of my neck, so I'm cysty. So I went to ask them to take care of that. Also, my leg is in disrepair because of the violent motorcycle accident that I got into. I almost drove into the ocean, and just been vaping a lot. So I'm feeling more unhealthy than I've felt in a while, and went in essentially the picture of health. But the doctor is supposed to be a male, and I am thinking, and I wrongly assumed that a physical means somebody's going to touch my balls, because usually that happened every time I went to go get a physical. Someone touched my balls, and in walks a rather pretty girl, And she says, "Hi, I am going to be doing your physical today." And I said, and I'm not kidding, "You're not going to be touching my genitalia, are you?"
Ooh, that's weird.
That is. Do you think it's that weird? Because
only thing-
it's a medical environment. I said, you're not going to be touching my genitals, are you?
The only weirder thing that you could have possibly said in that room would have been if she didn't touch your balls,
Right.
and it was the conclusion of the exam. You said, "Hey, you don't want to touch my balls?"
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Right.
What were you thinking?
I don't want her to touch my genitals. So I was waiting for the answer. If it was yes, I would have said, "I need to see somebody else." If it was no, I would have said, "Let's proceed."
What's your problem with that?
I don't want her touching my genitals. I want a man to touch my genitals.
It's a professional.
It is a professional, but
too young. I don't want that kind of person touching my genitals.
Dylan,
No capacity.
When we were doing in vitro, I had a vasectomy when I was 24. I've told the story on APS. That's why you guys got to subscribe. Get it here, all the fun history.
Oh, this is a free feed.
Oh, this is free. Oh,
this
yeah.
is
Anyway,
Yeah, it's free feed.
so when I'm doing that whole in vitro thing, I was naked all the time, and they're all female doctors. And at some point, they're all touching my balls, and I had this robe around me while they were cutting my little testicles open to get the little Irish drunken spermies out.
Yeah.
And the thing wasn't going around, and I just threw it off, and I said, "Fuck it." And I'm in a room with 3 strange women.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck anymore. I
Right,
just
right,
said,
right.
we're trying to do a medical thing here, and let them do their job, and don't be weird about it like Dylan would be.
Well, I was weird about it because I don't want her touching my genitals. I thought it was going to be a man that was going to be touching my genitals. Go ahead.
I agree, Patrick. Right now, it's a weird thing to say, but when I was 12 and I had my first physical going into 7th grade before middle school, where first physical where they
They touch your genitals.
and you cough, turn and cough. I had Dr. Jennifer Brum, and I was extremely uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Coming from a home of 3 women, I didn't know how to act. I was hoping for a strong male figure who didn't want to molest me.
That's what you were looking for your entire life. And here comes Dr. Blum or whatever
Brum,
her name is. Yeah.
Jennifer Brum. Look it up. Don't.
So don't do that. So she says she obviously recoils. Right. She isn't sure what to do.
But I wish I would have said to Dr. Jennifer Brum, "You're not going to touch my genitals," and
Well,
then demanded a man.
You should have, because that's what I did, and she was taken aback because I do recognize that it's a weird question. That's why I'm telling the story. But she said, "Well, is there something wrong with your genitals? Because if there is something wrong with your genitals, then
All the more reason to touch it."
I will take a look, but if everything is fine, then there's no real need to touch your genitals." And I said, "Yeah, no, they're great. Let's move forward." And we had a fantastic rapport after that. She asked me if I felt nervous or anxious often. I said yes, all the time, actually. Especially when I saw you and asked you if you were going to touch my genitals. Felt a tremendous amount of anxiety there. Good laugh. And then it was one of those weird things where there was a junior and then a senior walked in. There were like 2 nurses, a junior, a senior. There's too many doctors, too complicated. But anyway, picture of health. Almost died in the lab. The girl that took my blood, she said, "I got it," when she put the needle in and the blood started coming out. And I was like, "What do you mean you got it?" It was like celebratory. It's not what you want to hear from a lab technician.
Dylan, did you mop up down there the morning of, knowing that someone may in fact be entering you from behind and then in the front parts?
I took a look. I did an ocular pat down, and I said, "This is the perfect length for a medical environment. Not too short, not too long, not somebody who's cleaning up for the doctor, but not somebody who is a gross pig."
Okay.
Did they admonish you for vaping?
Oh, yeah.
Big judging for vaping?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And even more so, admonished me for my THC use. I say I take chocolates before I go to bed. They said, "Well, we don't want that to turn into a habit." Yeah. I said, "Leave me the fuck alone."
Did
And
you
no,
go to-
I don't want a flu shot. I don't need one. Give me the Tdap. I'll take that. My friends have young babies, but I don't want the flu shot.
Dylan's anti-vaxxer.
Yes, I am. This is another podcast show. It's a show where we gab and goof about really whatever is at top of mind. I'm Dylan, saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
What's going on, everybody?
Pat, producer of the podcast, is over there behind my glasses.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
I'm doing good. You know, it's a stressful time of year. The holidays are coming. I do want to get into how my parents are devolving into children. You've got robots making videos for you.
Yeah, my iPhone keeps making these wonderful videos of me and my family and saying like baby time, fun day with the fam, and then I just click on it, watch the video, and then all the while I was thinking, I bet there's like some tech guy who's making these videos, but I have a particular video I want to showcase on this show that actually proves that no, it's just your iPhone making these videos. Mm-hmm.
All right, and go to YouTube to see that. Subscribe. Mix it up in the comments. Just help us out on that website.
Oh, let me put it up.
So, we also want to talk a little bit about something that Nick briefly mentioned last week. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but
I just wanted to clarify and give some evidence to a statement I made.
About... we'll keep it shrouded in mystery.
Yeah, shrouded in mystery.
All right, so before we get into any of that, quickly... West Side Story should win Best Picture. It is absolutely fantastic. We talked last week about my apprehension to go see the film because it was 2.5 hours. It was a musical. I was just petrified that my wife and I were going to get into a fight or I was going to waste $30 on a nap. But none of those things happened. The film was magnificent. The numbers were incredible. Anita is a superstar. Whoever played Anita is a superstar. The whole thing was just so refreshing. It was a movie, you know. It was a fucking movie.
2.5 hours, though.
2.5 hours ain't that bad for a masterpiece.
Not that bad for a masterpiece.
I departed. I'm a sailor pig.
Yeah, I'm a sailor pig. But the movie theater was in ruin.
Yeah.
This is what I want. I want to get into the minutia of your experience.
ArcLight, Dylan.
The new Regal, but where the ArcLight was, the only movie theater that I would go to see films.
Sherman Oaks?
Yes, because it...
Great Cheesecake Factory there.
What do you mean Great Cheesecake Factory? What makes that one greater than any other one?
I don't want to derail you from your story.
Okay.
I feel like any chain establishment franchise
They
is
got
the
a really
management.
good Subway there. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
No, the management can absolutely make a difference in a Subway
night and
or a
day.
Cheesecake
That's true.
Factory.
100%.
That's true.
But-
eating my words.
Uh,
I got my face. The theater was in ruin.
Theater was in ruin. Forgot my point. What'd you say earlier? Damn it.
I like
The
Cheesecake
theater
Factory.
is a lovely place. It's for people who want to go see films, not for people to go escape the heat and throw Slurpees across the theater at one another because they don't give a fuck about what's playing.
This isn't the one that you have to walk through a 24-hour fitness?
Yeah, kind of.
It is indeed.
That may in fact be a tease for what I have to clarify later. But
So,
the ArcLight.
in this theater, there is a massive clock on the show time display. It's this giant feature that you see when you walk into the theater. It's beautiful. All of the movie times are there, and this clock is letting you know where you got to be at what time. Mm-hmm. The clock is 2 hours and 17 minutes off. The thing is probably, 7 foot by 7 foot. I mean, it's a gigantic clock. It's sitting there looking at everybody, and it is a giant beacon of we don't give a fuck. So that was a pretty big bummer. Now, my move is I go and I get a Negroni, and I drink a Negroni throughout the theater.
They still got that bar outside
throughout
the theater.
the movie.
Nice.
They still do get it, but they still do have it. But when you go to ask if you can get a Negroni, what you will have meet you is a bartender who freaks out the way I did when a female doctor came in, and he had no idea what.
Did he ask you not to touch his genitals?
No, he asked me, "Are you going to be touched by genitals?" He had no idea what it was. He went to some type of almanac that he had beneath the cash register to show him the recipe for the beverage.
Why don't you just tell him, walk him through it?
Because he didn't want my help.
Oh, okay.
He was too prideful. And he took 35 minutes to do it.
Wonderful.
So not that many people in the movie theater, but all in all, just happy to be back at the movies. Just so happy to be back at the movies.
Pardon my filthy, yucky, normie ignorance. What does constitute a Negroni?
Gin, Campari, and vermouth. Sweet vermouth.
Campari's the weird element of it. Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-1-1 ratio drink. It's not, we're not making a whiskey sour with egg white.
Yeah, it's not a Long Island iced tea.
Right. It's it kind of is. But anyways, movies are not doing well right now.
No.
It was still a lovely night, but it was pretty sad to see that giant clock be so off. I mean, it was profoundly sad. But yeah, there is a 24-hour fitness there.
Was anybody eating in the theater? How packed was the theater?
Not packed at all. There were probably 15 people in there, and it was
enough to annoy Dylan, though. I'm sure someone was doing something.
No, we sat in the way back, away from everybody, and I was pretty fucking baked out of my mind, so I wasn't really paying attention.
Sorry to take this for a turn. I just want to mention this. I'm never allowing you to divvy up a portion of a chocolate cannabis, whatever the fuck.
Oh,
that
that's
thing
right.
I took on Friday with you two.
Sure.
I know you're trying to get me in trouble with my wife.
Yeah.
2 hours later, after I ate it, I'm sitting at lunch with my wife. She's talking to me. I'm like, she's not making any sense at all. And I'm just laughing at her face.
Right,
She's like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. I was so fucking high.
Right.
And it lasted forever.
Yeah.
He texted us. He's like, I'm at lunch and it was 4 p.m. But and he's like, I'm so high.
I was very high.
Try being in the car with my mother, going around buying Christmas trees, talking about the fucking pandemic. I was just as high as you.
Going to bought a tree from Riley.
But anyway, so there was 24-hour fitness at the movie theater.
He had set up his cue to play this, and then we kind of digressed off it.
No, I didn't. No, we're just
Geographically speaking, I think it's perfect to talk about 24-hour fitness right now.
I feel that. Okay, this will be brief, but I made an offhanded comment when you were describing the topography of that's not right.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
The mall.
The layout of the Sherman Oaks Galleria.
The Sherman Oaks Galleria. Is that the one we went and saw? Joker.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I fell asleep during the reveal. And then I woke up.
You fell asleep during the Joker?
He fell asleep at the most climactic moment of the entire
when he's on the
film.
talk show and he blows his head off?
No,
well,
that's
yeah,
the
I
most
shouldn't say.
That's the most
for the character, it's the most climactic moment.
Yeah, spoiler. Can I say that?
Alert.
It's been out for a long time. I fell asleep right when he found out that his mom was crazy and had chained him to a radiator. I fell asleep in 10 minutes, and then I woke up and he's smothering his mom. I'm like, what is he smothering?
What's the problem with this guy? Good God, he's such a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where we saw that. And there is a 24-hour fitness there.
There is. I just now can't make this not full screen.
Right. But yeah, we talked about it. To get to the 24-hour fitness, you have to walk through a wind tunnel.
It is weird.
All the way to get there. Depending on the lot you park in, it's just the most inconveniently placed gym ever.
Let me explain this. It is, in fact, a wind tunnel because it's one of these malls that was ahead of its time where it decided, hey, I'm not just going to be a mall. Why don't we eat, play, live, and love and work out?
It's a promenade.
It's a fucking apartment complex that flanks the mall, and then there's a walkway.
That's the Americana.
No, there's apartments that overlook that walkway after you get out of the parking lot.
Are there really?
Yeah, it's really. They were ahead of their time. Now it seems like everything they're building in LA is doing that bullshit.
I thought it was just, what in God's fucking name do you have on the screen right here?
Okay, so we were talking about the layout of this wind tunnel or whatever it's referred
Yeah, so
to
right
as.
now what we
Hold on. And you mentioned, why would anybody go to this gym? And I very offhandedly, but I meant it, said people go to 24-hour fitness for gay sex.
Right.
And some people took umbrage with that. I mean, I just got questions. I think people chuckled and just didn't think I was serious. But I learned this when I was about to.
Oh, wow.
When I was about to move to Los Angeles, and I had to pick out a gym knowing I would be living in my car and needed someplace to shower. And I thought, wow, why not 24-hour fitness?
Yeah, and really quickly, can I just address the elephant in the room? There is a picture of a guy with his balls and dick in a noose.
Yes.
A little zip tie. Doesn't look like it's cutting off any circulation. Looks like it's just nestled there, but that is what we're looking at.
I mean, that's just That's a pop-up ad. That could happen on anything. It's really here
Well,
or
not
there.
anything,
That
but
the evidence I'm coming to present here today.
Yeah, no pun intended.
I was studying gyms, and I was like, 24-hour fitness seems perfect. I can go there all hours of the day and shower. And I also thought it would be cool to play basketball like Glenn Rice. He was the all-time leader in the Big Ten in scoring until someone passed him like years later. But he used to shoot in a darkened gym, and I was like, I could just turn the lights off if I go there at 3 a.m. and shoot like Glenn Rice.
Yeah.
And then I started doing my research, my due diligence on 24-hour fitness.
That sounds like a bad drill.
And repeated. No, are you kidding? It's like there's some light on, but you just really have to focus on the hoop. I feel like it's
okay.
I mean, Glenn Rice is one of the greatest shooters of all time. Won a championship with the Lakers. But 24-hour fitness started popping up as frequent gay sex, especially in Hollywood area where I would often be working, especially West Hollywood area.
Right.
And so I just did the same Google search I did in the past, and I just found some evidence from a couple various sources, and I really want to just run through them as a slideshow. I mean, let me know your thoughts.
Yeah, first we've got Gays Cruising, gays-cruising.com if you're interested.
Not to be confused with Gays
And
Cruising.
they're advertising join and browse gay bareback sex.
Yeah.
So this is just a site where people find out where to have gay random sex. Showers, bathroom at the 24-hour fitness. Meet daily, pretty reasonable hours, but exclusive, 12:30 to 5:30. Do you think that
early
means overnight?
bird does not get the worm?
See, when I read this at first, I was like, this is daylight hours. I was like, wow, they're just getting shit done. But now that I read this, I believe this to be AM.
That could be in the dead of night kind of thing.
Right when I'm trying to play basketball at 3 a.m. because I'm the only one in the basketball gym with the lights off. Yeah.
And you walk into an orgy and you're just screaming about how you want to be Glenn Rice, and they don't really, it could be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Multi-sources. They're not all gay meetup sites. This is from xmormon.org, which I guess essentially is a gay meetup site.
Yeah, it could be. Sounds like it. The post is titled, yes, 24-hour fitness is the, quote, gay gym. Dash recovery from Mormonism.
And the post that you'd read below actually doesn't apply. I mean, that thread, it was on like a message board and you couldn't get to the original post. It was quite but I did learn some stuff about nomos.
Hey, Nick, while you're looking that up, remember I told that story about that horrible neighbor that I punched in the face and he went to jail?
Yeah.
At the same time he was trying to make my life hell, he was suing 24-hour fitness because multiple guys were having sex in the locker room in front of him. Mm-hmm.
Relevant info. That's Exhibit C.
Yeah, you could argue that was relevant info.
The court will accept that. This is listings.cruisingforsex.com.
Yeah.
This is 24-hour fitness, Balboa Supersport Gym.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
3.44 stars out of 5.
I really
for
feel
the gay experience.
Pat, we should have waited to reveal you at the end. That would have been like a movie. You walk in the courtroom, and that's the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
But I rest my case.
Yeah, no.
24-hour fitness is a meetup place.
Case rested.
100%.
Whoa, what happened to you?
I don't know. Maybe I got the big C.
I gotta actually. Case opened again very briefly.
Yeah, what
to see this one from squirt.org.
Okay.
Squirt.
Yeah.
This is a 24-hour fitness Fortune Drive in Irvine.
This is a good spot for members of 24-hour fitness who like to get off after a nice workout. Has many amenities like the all men's sauna, steam room, and spa. I don't think the all men's sauna, I think it's a little redundant, but anyways,
I like that this particular reviewer is particular about the places they would have random sex with strangers.
Right. The steam room, the sauna,
the amenities.
The amenities are miraculous.
I'm not having it in a stank ass locker room.
Did I tell you guys about my LA Fitness basketball story where I triggered the alarm?
No, I don't think so.
Oh yeah, I was there trying to work out, and I was very, very embarrassed to be there, because I wasn't one of the big guys.
What year was this?
Probably 2013, right? 2014. I was a young buck. So I go in there and I'm like, I'm gonna see if I can shoot some hoop, So I go in and it just sent me back to my childhood, with the glasses and the rat tail getting picked
Feeling
on.
unaccepted.
And there were all these guys, and they were big, they were big and they jumped high. And I walked in and I kind of walked around the perimeter of the court, and I realized that I was going to have to get pretty aggressive if I wanted to play, and I wasn't really up for that. I don't think anybody was going to hold out a hand and say, hey, would you like to join us?
It's a real learning experience trying to get in a pickup basketball game, especially the established venue.
Yeah, I wasn't.
They all know each other.
Yeah, they all know each other, and I wasn't going to be initiated into this fraternity, so I decided.
And before it was cool, Dylan had his shorts above his knees.
Yeah.
He was like,
I definitely would have given him a wedgie.
He was Woody Harrelson in White Man Can't Jump.
Yeah,
They're like,
100%.
I don't want that kid.
Yeah. So I decided, I'm not gonna be a part of these guys, right? And I turned to leave out of a door that, it's just a different door than the one I came in, and it triggered the emergency alarm, and everyone had to stop what they were doing and leave the gym, and I walked out and
ran home.
Not only was I immediately went home, yes, but not only was I not friends with these guys, I walked out of the gym to them going, come on, man. What the fuck?
You're playing basketball with Joe Biden? Yeah. Wow.
Come on, man.
This?
So, yeah, it was super embarrassing.
Well, you showed them.
Yeah.
I mean,
I did show them.
It wasn't quite as intimate a setting, but it really reminded me of when I had to get the waves shut off at Noah's Ark, America's largest water park by acreage, not by number of attractions, because I was drowning. But you do not make friends at Noah's Ark by getting the waves turned off. People wait an hour for that.
Yeah, I know. You had to go and almost drown. It's very, very rude.
But I could have walked around unrecognized, whereas you could never go back to that LA.
Oh, no, they'll remember you.
And I never did. So, really quickly, I want. How long is your Apple video thing?
The video is probably like 15 seconds or 20 seconds.
Right, but your shtick on it.
4.5 minutes.
So before we get to AI poorly constructing your family memories, the holidays are coming around, and my family is filled with insanity. We've got one parent who would go to an all-you-can-eat buffet of COVID boosters if there existed one. I've got another.
There does.
I've got another parent that thinks it is a psyop and a stress test on our feebleness and our acceptance
It
of
is.
blind law. And so Dad is not coming out for Christmas. Now, my parents are quarreling about this entire thing, and I am just growing more fatigued by my parents of late. And I love my parents. They wiped my ass. They paid for me to go through school. Mom did. And they've just given me a beautiful life, but I'm reaching the point where I'm getting to an age where they're starting to be as childlike as I am right now, which is,
a regular adult. Which you should be at.
I've still got some boyisms in me. I have a lot of growing up to do left, but I feel as though, and my parents aren't full-blown children, but they're starting to dip a little bit. And I think when you're at this age and you see your parents start to kind of Benjamin Button a little bit, you go, hang on a second, are you guys devolving into little tiny babies? And it's happening before my eyes, and it's earth shattering. I'm annoyed by them. So annoyed by them. The IT stuff. My mom calls me 2 minutes before the onboarding call we have with one of our advertisers the other day. I answer the phone and I hear, emergency. Microsoft needs your credit card number. This is an emergency. And she goes, Dylan, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's going on. I go, Mom,
Get a Mac.
Close Chrome. It won't let me. I don't know. I mean, we got her a new computer, and she is punishing me every single day for it.
You got Windows?
No. She got an email. It's a scam email, but every day it's like, what does this do? Should I just take it to Apple again because you won't help me? The whole thing. I'm just, they're fighting over COVID. I'm like, you guys are children, and I just want to sit by myself on Christmas and not see any of you.
Oh, dude, I've done that on Christmas. It's wonderful. Dylan, I can relate to this. I had two parents, one that was in my life and one that was not. My father, Peter Hickey, checked out when I was 2, but then reconnected with me when I was 32.
Sure.
Okay? And he'd show up out here in
He was
Los
just giving you a little breathing room, you know? He didn't want to...
Yeah.
He didn't want to
pressure on me.
swaddle you, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He didn't need to see me in my teenage years or my 20s.
Didn't need to see you play ball.
He figured right around the early 30s was right around the time where he should insert himself.
Yeah,
because
because you could have some money at that point.
Exactly.
Right.
So he would come out here once a year, and the whole thing would, he'd stay in Long Beach because he had a coin convention or something.
Yeah.
I'd drive down there and we'd have dinner.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 years of this, and by the way, dinner would be like, I'm just pretending that he wasn't a horrible father. We'd drink some beers, have a nice dinner at P.F. Chang's.
Yeah.
I'd drive back to Los Angeles. We'd have some intermittent brief phone calls throughout the year until he came out the next year. So this is my dad being an absolute child.
Right.
One of my businesses I don't talk a lot about because I failed was a tanning salon.
Sure. Well, you were having sex with all the employees.
I did. It was not a way to run a business to have sex with everybody that works for you.
Live and learn.
So the day that I get the keys to the building to actually start moving in, you know, it's right at the first of the month. I got to start getting some paint on the walls and what have you.
Yeah.
Is the day the dad's flying in for his yearly trip. But
It's a big day for you. It's your red tape getting cut. You know, it's you moving into the office space.
Exactly.
Yeah, big day.
I got a lot I got to do. I got painters showing up. I got to, fix the bathroom, get a new toilet in there, what have you.
Right.
I let my father know this.
Right.
He says, all right, well, I'm coming in. And he's got a girlfriend this time with him.
Sure.
So anyway.
Was her name Janet?
No, it was Vera. She's evil. Anyway. So
Okay.
Memories flooding back.
Yeah.
So,
Vera does sound like an evil name.
dad calls, leaves a message, says, we're in town. It's like 11 a.m. That's when I'm getting everything ready.
You've let him know that you're opening up a business, and
Yes.
he is putting on you the guilt of making time for him.
Yeah. So I
Having left you for 30 years of your life.
Yeah. So I call him and he doesn't pick up, and I'm like, I'll be done by 5, and then I'll be able to make dinner. No answer.
Right.
I know he's in town. He's staying overnight. I'm like, God, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
He ignores my phone. I go to bed.
Right.
Don't see dad for my 1-year visit with my father.
Sure.
Next morning, wake up, call, nothing.
Right.
Couple hours, call, girlfriend answers. I says, hi, is dad there? And she says, he doesn't want to talk to you.
Right.
And I said, what? He was throwing a tantrum.
Right.
He didn't have his way.
Right.
Yeah, we are already in a car. We decided we're going to go to Vegas because his son doesn't want to see him.
Yeah.
Oh, his son doesn't want to see him.
Right.
The fucking gall on that guy.
They're
Child!
That's
so
not exactly what he was.
well. It's a little bit. I mean,
I'm saying they're children. He should have known I was a horrible father. I come out once a year. My son's opening up a business today. Why don't I drive up there and help him put some paint on the wall?
Sure.
We'll bond and pretend like the horrible fatherhood never
Right.
took place. Instead, he's a child.
Right.
Very much like your mother. Oh, help me with my computer. It's like, oh, now I'm going to Vegas.
Yeah, a little
Fuck you.
less traumatic, and that's why you're a little bit more stiffened than I am. I'm a little Pillsbury because she's taken care of me, been a very, very good mother. But yes, they do this melodramatic shit, and it's like, just grow up. You guys are so old. How are you not grown up at this point? And I really do think it's this thing where when they were in their 40s and their 50s, they had that shit locked down. They had a family they needed to take care of. They had careers, and now there is idle hands and devolving going on.
Idle
And
hands are the devil's playground.
It's crazy to see, and I love them very much, but they're ruining the holidays.
All right, so
with their childish bullshit.
another childish characteristic of adults more is compulsiveness. Children are compulsive. They'll go, with my kid, she's going to be 2 or something. I'll go, would you like chocolate? And she'll just scream something, or just the compulsiveness of what she wants or something. That's childlike. My mother, who is now 75,
Right.
I don't know if I talked about this. She's obsessed with politics. I never heard her talk about politics for the first 74 years of her life.
Sure, yeah.
Now she's a Trumper.
Hey, Mom, Ellie rolled over for the first time today. Well, that's great.
Did you hear Kamala Harris? She's a hoe. That's what my mother said.
Yeah, what about Hunter Biden's laptop, huh? Did you tell Ellie about that?
I sent her a picture. It's so so funny. He said, I sent her a picture of Elliot on a tricycle.
Yeah.
And she responded back, so cute. Let's go, Brandon. I kid you not.
And Let's Go Brandon is, well, it's.
I didn't understand what
You don't know
saying.
Let's Go Brandon?
It's
It
a way
says
to
fuck
make
Biden.
fun of Biden.
But
right?
there was no context for me.
Yeah.
It was in the very infancy of that even being a thing, and I
Right.
was confused and confounded by it.
Right.
So cute. Let's go, Brandon.
Right.
Compulsive, like a 4-year-old that wants candy or will say anything in a room that's inappropriate.
It's crazy.
They're children.
It's crazy to come to terms with
I'm
it.
not going to do that to Ellie.
Well, you are, though.
No, I'm
Yes.
getting better.
No.
I'm evolving.
Right, but you are about to crest the mountaintop, my friend. You will become a nuisance to your growing child.
I don't think
at
so.
some
She's going
point.
to worship me and think I'm awesome.
No.
And I feel like here's why I feel like it's a little different what you guys are saying. I don't disagree that your parents' behavior, Pat, is childlike, but that to me is like this lifelong arrested development. Whereas he's referring to the regression of
Sure.
people, his once caretakers.
They could get
Your parents never took care
True.
of you.
Good
They
point.
could be, though, getting even worse.
Yes,
You know
true,
what I mean?
True.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
So still regression.
Does Gma annoy the shit out of you sometimes? I mean, does she bother you with? I guess
I feel indebted to the point where grandma gets what grandma wants.
Right.
And yeah, she's grabby, and I will never be able to tell her to not drive.
Right,
but
right,
she
right.
will until she gets.
Oh my god!
but
the
she can drive
driving.
slow, so it won't be that bad.
The driving.
unless she pulls out and gets T-boned. But
Yeah, it's gonna just have to be a lifelong thing where I just have to get more zen and see things at 30,000 feet and just set boundaries and just have those be there, you know.
But in terms of like helping her with the viruses and such, she took care of you.
And
Can't you just go fix her computer?
Of course, I fix her computer constantly. I sit there with her IP provider and get all of her fucking emails. Why do you have an email from a website run by a guy in Arkansas? Why don't you just have a fucking Google account?
Hey,
Plenty of IT support going.
Great question.
Sorry, I'm only going to mention this very brief anecdote or story because I want to hear what the audience has to say about this because I think my wife can relate to it when I told her this story. So Jimmy Dell, who's my stepfather, who's a great guy now, but my mom got with him when he was in his early 30s. And again, I will keep this brief. But Jimmy thought it was a good idea when he was married to my mother to actually get engaged to another woman in a couple towns over.
Did you say great guy?
Now he is. But in his 30s, when I was 12, he was a dick. And he decided to actually have the photos printed in a newspaper with his new fiance printed. And guess what? It got all over town.
Sure.
Before you know it, my mom's brokenhearted. And she tells me one night, hey, I'm going to dump this piece of shit's clothes off at his apartment with his girlfriend.
Right.
So she gets me in the car with her with a trash bag full of his clothes.
Right.
And then she throws it on, the front of his yard. Then we go back to the house and I want to go to bed. She goes in my bedroom and for the first time in my life, she confides with me. She's like sitting down next to bed. This piece of shit. I can't believe he did this to me. And I was thinking as a 12-year-old in my bed,
Go away.
why are you telling me this? Right. Please leave. What a child. My mother, I did the math. My mother was probably 38 at that point or something. Why are you telling a 12-year-old this?
Yeah, no, it is a little
Get
bit
out of here.
It is a little bit different just because of the pain, just because of the pain. But yes, it's just we're encumbered by these people who have given us so much. There's so much conflict, because they've given us so much. But my God, do I not want to spend the holidays with anyone but my cat and my wife for a little bit. All right. Speaking of family memories,
I'll keep this wrapped up. All right, I'll wrap this up nice. All right, so my iPhone. I didn't know who was making these things. I used to thought that Facebook was making them, going into my photos library, and then making these nice little.
Well, you don't understand how technology.
Right? No, I'm an idiot. They put
in this
music
regard,
to it.
yes.
They take like pictures. Some of them will be like a minute long or whatever. As I mentioned at the top of the show, it'll be like cute baby day or something.
Right.
And I was convinced that there was some silicon nerds going into my phone. They're already listening to us. I don't know if you knew that. And they were making these videos. Now, I want you to play this. Now, by the way, in contrasting nature, my even 7 years ago, what a Saturday was to what a Saturday is now. 7 years ago, a Saturday was wake up at 2 p.m. on a Saturday, pop a Vicodin, maybe hit a happy hour.
Right.
Go out to a bar, hang out with my friends, possibly have sex with a random girl, wake up the next morning, spin and repeat, do the next thing.
Right.
Now it's wake up early, feed the kid, go to dance class, grab lunch at Bob's Big Boy, go to Americana until the sun sets, go home, drown yourself in 3 bottles of Pinot, wake up, do it all over again.
Right.
The particular video,
And every morning I will not kill myself today. I will not kill myself.
I do enjoy it. So this particular video is called Los Angeles County, November 20th.
Beautiful title.
Now, again, I started this by thinking that some nerd in Silicon Valley was actually constructing and producing these videos.
It's shocking to me that you thought there was some dude with joysticks in Reno or
I don't know, maybe India.
Okay.
But I'm now swayed that possibly it's not, and it's just an algorithm. And sometimes that algorithm makes mistakes. Now watch this video of me on a Saturday with my family.
Okay. And Pat, I should say, sway no more. You have conclusive proof now, or at least just hear me and Nick tell you, it's not a guy from India.
No, it's empirical that I believe it's a little computer system that has more power in it, processing power, than the first NASA mission to Mars.
A million percent.
Yeah.
I've actually become swayed the other way. Now I do believe it was someone in India.
Right.
And what we're about to see with this mistake that he thinks is the linchpin to prove that it is an algorithm, I think it's more, who do we trust more, the humans or the machines?
Yeah,
I think it's human error that we're about to see, and this is a guy in India.
What
People are
this
pretty
is,
lazy.
it's cultural illiteracy. He just doesn't know the custom.
Is the
That's
music
what's happening.
is the music up? Because the music they chose for this particular
Yeah, it's up.
I hope this chord is going to work, but I think all my things are up. Yep, there we go. All right.
Here we go.
Here you go.
Oh, that's Megan, the dance instructor.
Is she nice?
She's pretty nice. Oh, pause it.
I feel like this only proves. But can
Now that is a zombie
Right.
that I drove up upon in the parking lot of Bob's Big Boy before we went in to have a lovely lunch with my family, who was, I don't know what that zombie was.
People who say, it's insensitive to call, people down on their luck or problems with it, who have problems with addiction zombies. Please look at this. I mean, this is a man. Or should I say, a zombie. I mean, it's straight out of fucking Resident Evil.
I actually am now convinced that no mistake has been made. This was titled Los Angeles County, November 20th.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Nick.
So you had a lot of great times.
Yeah.
But it was slightly marred by the fact that a zombie was ripping off someone's hubcaps in a parking lot.
Yeah. So what we have here, if you're just listening to the audio, is in my beautiful montage of a day out with my family. Right in the middle of this video with all that great music is a zombie where we see his asshole, and he's attempting to break into a car in a parking lot.
Well, so he has the posture of Quasimodo, and he is bent that way by probably a couple years of some tough living. He's hunched over like an evil bird creature. His ass is completely out. His pants are so low that it looks like a skirt. His hood is over his head. Was it cold that day, or was it?
It was nice, actually.
It was nice. Okay.
Zombies don't care, though. They have no blood flowing through their bodies.
They're
They're
very
dead.
cold-blooded.
He actually probably has the chills from withdrawals.
Yeah. So that's why he's in the sweater. But I would tell him to pull his pants up because the breeze can really hit you in the asshole and send shivers up your spine.
I would love to watch the video in its entirety.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely. God, it's such a beautiful video.
Oh, yes. Wow. Couldn't have made it better if I edited it myself.
There's a beautiful child.
She's having
at,
so much fun.
Jesus.
Wow, okay.
That's us inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
Cute.
Really, really beautiful day.
Well, that's at the Americana.
Yeah, she's looking at the fountain.
Honestly, as a parent with a kid this young, you just like, what can we do
Right.
to get to the sun setting so that we can drink wine?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, Pat. This video is a comedic genius.
It's what do you mean?
That little, because it's so beautiful and cute otherwise. Like,
Oh, you're saying this guy in India is a comedic genius.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
That was why I was going to do an imitation of it because that's what I was trying to.
Yeah, but don't.
I quite possibly think the only mistake, if I had to critique it, would be that this was a 40
too on the nose.
It was a 41-second video, and we got the picture of the zombie with his ass showing at 11 seconds. I would have put it at about 31.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think I can sue my iPhone?
You sent it to your family?
You gotta call a billboard, one of the billboards up on the side of the freeway. Hi, can I sue my iPhone?
I believe that, though. Because they put that together. You thought it was a beautiful day with your family. You sent it to all your family and friends, and then they saw this zombie's ass.
Yeah, but the unfortunate thing is that those terms of agreement that you signed, one of them is
ironclad.
Yeah, well, it says this phone will give you cancer and you can't sue us like DuPont or any of that mumbo jumbo. I've read through it. And another one is we may throw some off-colored videos that you've captured of zombies and assless chaps.
And they get real mouthy. They're like, "Hey, you took the video of the guy. He's gonna end up in your montage."
Gosh, that is so funny. You know, my buddy Dust. Don't want to say his name. It doesn't matter though. But he periodically sends me kind of the way that Jane Goodall documented the chimpanzees. The ecosystem of downtown Los Angeles, and the other night he
said a concrete puncher.
No.
What do you call the zombie that they like nice things?
Fancies, yeah, fancies.
The screamers.
Now this guy, I don't know what you would call him. Maybe
tell us about him. I might know.
Maybe a singer is too on the nose, but he was. It was like 11:30 at night, and it's a man just right outside his window.
The preacher?
Kind of dancing like one of those inflatable things at a car lot, one of those things,
yeah.
Right? And just singing his absolute heart out, ramming his body into one of the aluminum things that you pull down to protect from crime.
Zombies.
Yeah, zombies. And just singing. No real lyrics or anything.
Freeform.
Yeah, just
like Yoko Ono.
Yes, it was a Yoko performance. Maybe we can call him
The
Yokos. Yeah.
He's a Yoko.
Yeah. So that's it for us tonight.
I got called the F word by a zombie the other day. I actually walked past your house, went to California Caregivers.
Okay.
I was like, oh, I'm going to take a nice stroll. And I feared for my life there and on the way back, even though it was a different route. And I got called a gay slur by a zombie.
Right. Now, were you being...
I was swinging my arms and skipping, but I don't think that should have anything to do with it. No, I was just
it
walking.
It really shouldn't. So anyways, come to Los Angeles. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, and you can, witness some of the hilarious and not fucking terrifying things we see on a daily basis. Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews, leave 5 stars, kind words, and join us on patreon.com/anotherpodcastnetwork for an extra episode a week of these, plus much more video content and things galore. Join us on YouTube as well. You got to see this video that Pat has thrown up. You cannot witness the full horror just through your ear holes.
No,
you just can't. You got to see it with your peepers. Until next week, I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye.